It's Open House Thursday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi. As always, I have the ladies with us. How you doing, Miriam?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so very much. How are you?
I'm fine. I was fine until a few moments ago, but I'm trying to be fine. How you doing, though?
Okay, I'm fine. So on Saturday is World Pangolin Day. I know, mother of vultures.
Yes,
right? But I think that it's important to highlight this particular animal. It's described as the Earth's natural pest control. So these animals, just from their normal, regular activities, they feed on insects that would otherwise be in our soil, eat up our crops. And they burrow through the soil, to do this. And in doing that, they aerate the soil and just spread minerals, that makes the soil healthy. But they are now described as the most trafficked mammals on Earth.
Wow.
And their numbers are dwindling. And if they go extinct, we'll be in big trouble. So towards the day, which is on Saturday, I will be highlighting the pangolin, the benefits to our ecosystem, and why we need to stop trafficking in them. And as usual, one of the major reasons that they're being trafficked, because people believe in spiritual things that they can do, all the different skills, what they can, different things. We need to look at how they were what they were originally made for, and make sure that we still have them on Earth.
Okay. Yes. How you doing, Nima Akashat Zipiri?
Nima is grateful. Grateful. I forgot my banter. I'm still trying to remember.
My pangolin took it away.
No. That's a very, very important thing you do, man. I used to love reading those things as a child.
Yeah.
Growing up, I just never thought there's anything you could do. But seeing what you've achieved with the vultures,
so good.
Now raising issues. There are a lot of animals going extinct that they're not in the business of going extinct just because of certain mindset around them.
We're still looking for ritualists. Remember, we still really want to talk to a ritualist, a real ritualist.
Will
because
they come
let us
out?
find out what they use these vultures for, what they use human parts for. Does it really work? How do the gods take in these things?
Like
it
the man that
would be really nice to speak to a ritualist.
The human parts from the Ogun State man and his wife.
Yes.
Said that he bought it to do mercy drug. Mercy charm.
Okay.
And I'm wondering what's mercy charm.
Like favor, to get favor of things.
Somebody reached out to me that he can get me a ritualist, but I'm trying to, I think I lost the person contact.
Can a ritualist openly come without being arrested?
Well, you can't prove that he has done it before. He can tell you about that. He knows that an animal, human head is used for this. He knows that, but he will say, I used it.
Okay.
He let us even know what it's used for. How you doing,
I will not be on the show today.
No, talk about host that day. We are watching from the house.
Why?
But I'll produce the show.
People are shocking me. So people don't have chest again.
No,
You
it's
will
not
be
about
here.
chest.
Yeah,
It's not about chest.
You'll be
How you
here.
doing,
I'm doing amazing. So I was at the clubhouse yesterday. I would talk
Oh, yes,
about
you said so.
spicing up your sex life. It was
And this sex part.
explosive.
Have you gone watch it again?
Yes,
Don't listen to the
it's
stuff
on
for
replay.
boats the other day. You form virgin. Now you have
I tried now.
explosive
I tried. It was you that
Is it
was
you?
hiding
You
your
wanted
This
to
Larry
talk about
Olushola thing.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has this platform on Clubhouse where we meet to discuss spiritual issues, sexual issues, money issues, every issue. As a life coach now, you can, help people. And so he brings in experts in different fields. And I don't know why he keeps calling me when he reaches that sex matter.
Last year he called you too. I know it was really, really interesting
So what
last year.
happened was when I finished my coaching, I wanted to niche on being a sex coach.
Yes.
My husband said, lie.
Because you didn't know how
I
to do
don't want anybody to look at you and be seeing sex. No way. Find something else, So but he just keeps calling me sex, relationships, and I'm a natural when it comes to that. But now I am a personal development and spiritual coach.
That's so.
I love you guys.
But yeah, help.
She's not our hot topic, so we'll move on.
How you doing?
I'm doing very
You shut
well.
down yesterday.
Oh yes, went to the party in Italy. Yes, it was really nice. Just good to party. In fact, the MC was saying I've gone to see you 3 parties. I think myself, I need to start staying in my house. So I kept calling my name. Within 1 week, I don't see for 3 parties. I'm like,
Lagos woman.
I've sitting in my house. Nobody should call me for any party. I'm not going.
But it was fun. Happy birthday to Lula.
Happy birthday to Lula Midi. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. YourView will be right back.
Okay, we're starting with The Nation. 5 petrol-laden vessels from Belgium turned back. Ekiti governorship only drops APGA plan for SDP. Collapsed 21-story building in Ikoyi. Lagos to prosecute 4 square homes. Nod for North Central to produce APC chair. Police NDLEA rift over Kyari deepens. ASUU strike unnecessary, says federal government. Owa Obokun backs Oyetola for APC ticket. Okay, who has the major headline?
Okay, I have it across all papers, so let's quickly take it here. So, our House of Reps got on top of their work yesterday and summoned the Gakwata of NPC, Kyari, to come and explain why there's a scarcity. And he first of all apologized for the situation, then said that the particular terminal from where the extremely high methanol fuel came from has also, and they had 5 vessels from that terminal. They've returned them, and they've also filed liquidation costs against the producers of that particular methanol high petrol. But that methanol is not exactly a contaminant of PMS. It's saying that in some countries like China, they have high methanol PMS that they use. But maybe for our own consumption here, our cars are not modeled to, or our own machines are not modeled to deal with highly methanol PMS. So that's what the situation is. It says that, but they have about 2.1 billion petrol coming into the country, and this is supposed to help in the meantime carry us till March. So this situation that we are going through now will end by next week. Those were his words. So Monday next week, if I don't see Fredo, we'll be calling him out. Yeah. But it says all of them, Dapman, Ipman, and all of the operators within are already on sites now trying to load to help us reduce. So they'll be supplying, and they're working on that.
Issues with NATO.
There's a lot of queue. Yes, so the Education Minister, Adamu, yesterday said that he's expressing shock that ASUU is going on strike because right now they are still negotiating. So he said that they set up a committee to resolve the disagreements between the both sides, and they were supposed to submit a report. And after the report, then they will now, go with the necessary steps. But he was shocked to see that even in the midst of the negotiations, ASUU had, decided to go on strike. Then he went ahead to say that they have actually paid some of these monies that they wanted. I think they paid about 100 billion to ASUU. And he listed, he said that 100 billion was to address some of the union's demands, and he broke it down. He said they had released 40 billion as earned allowances, which was paid in February, March 2021, 30 billion paid in October 2021 for revitalization, 22.72 billion mainstreamed into the 2021 budget, was paid in November 2021. So in all, they have given ASUU 92.72 billion as at December 2020. And they are worried that even in the midst of the negotiations, ASUU is just backing off. ASUU, on the other hand, is accusing the minister that he's not present for the meetings. And he's saying that I'm the one that usually calls this meeting. The only time I wasn't present was when I went to Germany to receive medical attention. But the negotiations are still on. And he's saying that right now, the way things are going is no longer the fault of the federal government, since they cannot even come to an agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, so
story building?
Yes, the story building. So there's an update on the 21-story building collapse that happened. And the panel, Toyin Ayinde-led panel, had finally met with the governor and presented their white paper. It was a 28, they gave 28 recommendations. 26 was accepted by the governor and 2 rejected. And amongst the recommendation is that the other buildings, the uncompleted ones, will be demolished and the land handed over and forfeited to government. And that because of the people who died, about 50 persons died in that collapse, the four square, that's the name of the 4 score homes, will be prosecuted for their deaths and for negligence. And also culpable government officials, 3 town planners and civil servants will be prosecuted for lying under oath and for using a private consulting company to create a fake approval that the building was good to go.
Wow.
And so it
approval.
looks like, you know, some form of, they're also talking about compensation and things like that. So it looks like government is, you know, right on this, and it's good update.
Okay, moving on now to the Punch. Stations run out of petrol, scarcity paralyzes states. Protesting Lagos drivers set ablaze by government agents say family and colleagues. Bandits raid Kaduna community, abduct 22 residents. Shooting Aregbesola loyalists, attack Osun CP. Command denies buyer's accusation. Northern youths kick as government invade Abia cattle market and kills 8. Picture here of students of the University of Benin during a protest to support the academic staff union reverses strike. ASUU fumes as federal government declares strike illegal. Kyari may spend more days in detention as NDLE approaches court. Okay.
Yes, I'll take this story. So Nima had taken a story that was reported yesterday as a driver trying to sort of dodge enforcement officers, set himself ablaze. But we are hearing another side to the story. So this is a colleague of his and also a family member. They said what actually happened was there are these agberos that work with these enforcement officers, and they were insisting that the driver to get out of the car, and he refused. So they brought petrol, and they threatened to pour it on him, but he didn't leave his car. And then one of them also brought a lighter, kept turning it off and on, threatening to set him ablaze if he didn't get out of the car. He did not, and of course, where there's petrol and there's flame, he caught fire. There was already one of them sitting beside him. That one was able to flee. That's one of the area boys was able to flee the scene. He was badly burned. He's in hospital now, recuperating. His family member said he got a call from his conductor saying this is what had happened. He ran to the scene. He says he was now arrested by police officers because they said to him that they heard he was trying to burn down the office as per NSAS. But eventually, when they needed someone to go to the hospital, they let him get off. So that there's nothing that this man is a normal, sane man. Why would he just set himself off?
Because the story sounded...
Exactly. But the chairman, State Environmental and Special Forces Enforcement Unit, CSP Shola Jejeloe, says that these people that were involved in this incident are not members of their agency, that they are imposters, that's what they do, and that they are investigating it to make sure, you know, everything is set.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Latina friend. It's the season of love and giving, not only for couples, but for friends and family too.
How do you show love? My guys have been with me through thick and thin, and I can't think of a better way to appreciate them this season. My Alert app makes the act of giving fun and seamless. This is how I show love.
I got a friend, Ikoyi, my friend.
What if you stumble into an opportunity at your own convenience? What if you stumble into a friendly stranger and all you had to do is wave? What if you unlock the opportunity of a lifetime with this new acquaintance in a branded shirt? What if all you have to do is your favorite things in your favorite places? Shopping at the mall, having a weekend getaway, or going to the movies? Your future is right outside your door. We are closer than you think.
If you want better correct food, oh, no day slow down, no. El Chris day here for you, oh. Ide for morning, Ide to bake, oh.
El Chris day here for your family with quality Choco Oats Delight, instant oat meals, flour to bake, and plenty swallows like oat flour, plantain flour, cassava flour, and poundo potato. Way sweet to eat for the whole family with all your tasty soups. Waiting you they wait for. Go grab them for any shop near you. El Chris Foods.
Yummy, yummy.
You know, everything in life has a recipe.
Really?
Yes, dear. Like the recipe to rule a great...
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, YourView, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria.
Okay.
Is the head of his support group of the Aregbe faction in Osun State, Razak Salinsile, has written a petition against the Commissioner of Police of Osun State. He wrote the petition Deputy Commissioner of Police alleging compromise of the CP, saying that without investigation, the CP just came out to, to say that the Aregbe group started shooting in the reported shootings in Osun State following their own congress, and what would I call he had a public meeting with his supporters, and after that there was shooting, and the Commissioner of Police then alleged that they were responsible for it, and the NNCDC said no, they were shot at first. The back and forth led to his chairman of his own faction writing a petition against the CP, alleging that, and also saying to the CP that because you're compromised now, your office is not supposed to be partisan, and obviously it is. You're not an employee of government, you're from the federal. You should be redeployed, asking him to voluntarily redeploy. Those are the details. Okay, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. Politics. Adulterated fuel, NNPC files claims for damages against suppliers. 1 minor, 3 commuters killed, 2 others injured in Plateau. A Motekun arrest struck with 63 Northerners motorcyclists in Ondo. Soludo makes OND minimum qualification for political appointees. Drug trafficking, Kyari Bawa confessed working directly with cartel in Brazil in Ethiopia, says NDLEA. 8 killed as gunmen attack cattle market in Abia. And FG wants peaceful resolution with ASUU. Strike unfortunate, says minister. So this is my new exciting governor, which I'm pretty excited, which many of us are excited about, Governor Soludo. He's doing some Soludo things. Okay. So he said he said that going forward, that the ordinary national diplomat, as the OND, that will become the minimum qualification for appointments of commissioners and other political appointees within his government. He said this in the form which was supposed to be, he called it the intention form, I believe, that he wants to work with the government so that they created a platform, a website, where those who are willing to work for office go there to apply with your qualifications. So if you want to be commissioner for information, commissioner for health, or any position at all, you go there, you say, you know what, I have this experience, I'm a media experience, I would like to be the commissioner for media or whatever it is, and you apply with your qualifications, and the review. He says that, let me tell you what this exciting governor is doing. He said, oh, there's someone I wanted to quote him somewhere. They hope to attract problem solvers with passion, competence, capacity, and integrity who are interested in joining a team of other selfless public servants to transform Anambra into a livable and prosperous smart mega city. Hey, in fact, I think I am going to transport not yet. Governor Samoro is still performing. Yeah, they got the studio. But I'm just saying, we're so happy to see when the new government just breath of fresh air. They do so all of you that are from Anambra, you live in Lagos, and you're qualified in one day, please apply, go online, check out the portal, see what you can do to serve. You don't have to be the commissioner, you can be the head DG of a unit of a parastatal. There's so many things you can do. Apply, because he wants fresh faces and new energy. Yeah, we love it, Yeah. The Honorable Minority Leader of the House of Reps, Honorable Ndude Lumelu, is probing 165 billion naira appropriated to the Nigeria Correctional Service for the past 2 years. He's saying that since the amendment of the Nigeria Correctional Service Act in 2019, they upgraded. The plan of that act is to upgrade Nigeria to the same level of international correctional services. Until date, that the workers, the staff of the Nigeria Correctional Service seems to be the poorest. That their what's it called? Their basic needs as staff is not good, it's not been upgraded. Their uniforms are still old, they've not been prioritized. Their welfare, is not been prioritized to international best practice. And he's also asking that a 1 billion budgetary provision for prisons, biometrics, arms and ammunition has still not been, visible. They're not seeing the result because they still carry their obsolete and substandard weapons around. You still have prison breaks happening. And so they started this probe, and I wonder how it will end.
So, men of the Ondo State Security Network intercepted a truck in Iju, Akure North local government area with about 63 men from the northern part of the country hiding inside. So what they said that when they saw this truck coming, and what they saw was animals and motorcycles. But when they now started conducting a check, they realized that there were about 63 men hidden in the truck. And they were wondering, why are you people hiding? So they, according to the story, said they were headed to Lagos, and they had I wanted to get the number of bikes, 10 registered Okadas with Yoruba names, and 15 unregistered Okadas, then 240 Rams in the truck. Investigations are ongoing to understand why they have registered these Okadas in Yoruba names when they are not Yoruba people, and why they decided to hide in the truck. What's the sinister motive behind that influx into Lagos State? Okay. So I also like Lagos State to investigate how these people get into Lagos State.
Owned by Yoruba men, just having
all the way from the north.
Lagos is refusing to enforce its ban on Okada. Simple. Yeah. So here is the haven
Anybody
to make
can
your
come
money.
in.
Once you reach the economic movement.
Lagos wants to enforce now, but we are the ones that will say they don't
put a ban, and they're enforcing their ban on Okadas.
On this table, this same table, we have criticized the Lagos State government for trying to enforce this Okada ban.
No, we said they should find an alternative for them.
How do you find alternative for people that are flooding into Lagos every single second?
But that was not the clear picture we had that they were flooding in. They said you want working here already.
Every single day. Every single day. Thousands come into the state every day.
Go ahead.
In Plateau,
sorry, Jerry. Help us check this out.
Irate youths have gone out and they said they killed commuters traveling from Jos to Jingir. This seemed like a reprisal attack on the killings that happened at the mining site on Tuesday in the morning around 9:45 a.m. Some hoodlums, bandits, had gone into the mining site and killed 2 miners. They got away with it. So these youths, in anger, went out, and what they did, was sad. 3 persons died on the spot, 2 sustained injuries. Thankfully, 6 other passengers were rescued. Operation Safe Haven also gave a statement to confirm this incident, and the governor has come out to categorically, discredit this sort of behavior, and that they would investigate fully what is happening.
Quickly to Vanguard, this one is still not taken. Hunters arrest 6 Boko Haram informants, food suppliers in Borno. Bandits attack Abia cattle market. Cows traders fear dead. How we nab 63 northerners. IPOB, no immigration record of Kanu's departure, says Kenya government. 1 month warning strike, ASUU dodging negotiations, says federal government. Then it's story we've not taken.
Yeah, I took Abia.
Yes, go ahead. The major headline. Kyari, yes, drug cartel working with DCP Kyari, not our officers.
The Nigerian police have decided to respond to them, saying that certain officers of the NDLEA were friends or cooperated with Abba Kyari in this crime that he carried out, and they're asking the NDLEA to prosecute his staff. NDLEA, on the other hand, is saying none of our staff was found, but if any of them was found, complicit in this, we will do everything possible to probe him. Also, they're saying that with what Kyari has said during his interrogation, saying that he sort of replaced the drugs with some dummies, that they are going to start a forensic investigation into that to see the quality of the drugs recovered. And they've also gone to court to extend the time for his detention while investigation is ongoing. And they saying that his confession is also assisting them in what they're doing. So they'll be holding him for a longer time. He'll spend more days there while they investigate that. But if any NDLEA staff is complicit in this, that staff will also have to go down. Sorry, Mariam, quickly. 4 other police officers were, accused along with NDLEA, with Kyari. But we're only hearing Kyari's name.
He's the biggest.
Please, no, it doesn't matter. Whoever, whatever. And even if it's the IG, please just release information.
No, to be fair, the other names have been mentioned in the papers. But you know what bothers me about the police stance concerning this story is that from the very beginning, they kept saying, NDLEA staff too are involved. It's not a tit for tat. An investigation is going on. This is for everybody. And if there are NDLEA staff involved, they will be prosecuted as well. But don't make it look like, you are doing us, it does not make sense.
Sure.
Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, it's Thursday. We have very, very interesting or disturbing stories. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Thanks for staying with us. So this morning we're discussing leadership, recipe for leadership, So we've been talking about, there's a series going on with recipe. Last week we did recipe for love. This week we're talking very briefly about the recipe for leadership. You know, everybody believes that they know what a leader should be or who a leader should be. Everybody has a definition for who a leader is. But what are those various recipes that we desire? What are those recipes we think our leaders should have? And that's going to be our brief conversation today on the recipes for leadership. Mariam, would you like to start?
Oh, yes. So when we talk about recipe, we are talking about ingredients, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I put it this way. So a leader has to have a tablespoon of, no, a spoonful of selflessness. And I took that from the last story you took about the governor of Anambra State, where he said that selfless people should come, you know, and offer their services. You have to be selfless. You know that you're coming to serve people. Sometimes being a leader can be a thankless job, but you understand that you're doing it for the bigger picture, for the interest of everyone else. So you have to be able to put yourself aside for that. You should be able to have an inch of innovation. Again, the governor in question, this is an innovative idea. You have to come up with fresh ideas, new ways of doing things better. An ounce of ownership. When things go right, when things go wrong, you should be able to own it. The buck stops at your table. That conversation of what do we hear every time? Is the special cabal? Is these people that did this? No, it is me. I was supposed to be
corruption
in charge
fighting
of
back.
this. Yes, I'm the one. You know, everything stops at my table, and I take ownership and I take responsibility for what happened. So I think.
How many have you given us now? I think I've
given you three.
Okay, so Nima, do 3 also. It was fine 3. Or how many you have?
Literally, I was talking to my daughter about leadership because they picked prefects from primary 4 and they did not pick her. And so she came and said, Mommy, do you think I'm not qualified to be a prefect? And I said, okay, a lot of things I see that you do just with your brother. So it is everybody's goal to share the success. Share it. As a leader, if you do things together, it doesn't matter that you do all. Just that your brother was standing and saying, well done, well done, well done. It's both of you who do it. So don't deny the person their credit when you do something together or when you're supposed to work as a team. It is leadership to be able to say, as a team, we did this together and give people their credit. It doesn't diminish what your contribution was at all. It's also leadership on part of that follower to recognize what you led them to be able to achieve. So even if they don't say it, don't force it. Do your part. So I'm going to have to mentor her in leadership.
That's a nice recipe.
Then I also told her.
Yeah.
So I told her also.
It's a nice recipe.
It's a recipe.
Yeah.
The second recipe.
Yeah. The second ingredient.
The second ingredient will be having living with a schedule. So planning. And I told her, I said, if you're a Muslim, you're someone who must learn by your way of life to live by a schedule. Because as a Muslim, you have 5 daily prayers that already are on the schedule. And so you learn as your way of life. When you grow as an adult, it will be easy for you to always keep to schedule and remember your words when you give them. So that's one of the recipes a leader must have. When you give your word, you cannot just relax and say, oh, I got carried away by other things, because it would be made to remember naturally. So I kept trying to explain. So I said that's why I can't sleep over time. I want to oversleep, but I can't because I'm naturally wired that way, growing up the way I was raised. So, and I'm trying to use that to continue to teach her. So those are the 2 recipes that I have.
Okay, all right. And so what are your own recipes? You have cut like 100.
Oh, please, calm down. So let me borrow from Miriam's ingredients that she mentioned. So I would say a leader should have 1.5 cups of integrity.
Okay.
What you say is what you do. What you do is what you say. You should not be caught saying something else and doing something else. A leader must stand out in terms of your word being your bond. Very, very important. The second recipe, it's 2 cups of walking the talk. So we do a lot of talking in this part of the world. But when it comes to action, we are lacking. So a leader should, as far as I'm concerned, even learn to talk less and do more. Let your actions show. Model. When you're telling somebody,
you're already having leaders.
Model it. Do the work. Do more of the work, and you must be proactive. A leader is solution-oriented. You are not waiting for something to happen and then you start blaming and start thinking, oh, it wasn't me or it's somebody else. You should take responsibility. Yes. Now, the last recipe I have, a leader must learn how to organize and harness other people's potentials. Yes. You don't necessarily have to be the one to do the work, but you must be able to identify talent and use them to the best of their ability. There's a leader, there's a quote I saw recently when I was doing something on leadership, and it says, you can achieve anything as long as you're not bothered about who gets the credit. Mariah is one example of a leader. Mariah knows how to pinch me and I am jumping on this seat. She knows how to whine Miriam and Miriam is speaking English. She knows how to get Nima to almost remove her hijab on the show. She knows our gifts, our talents, where we function best, and she pushes us and she doesn't mind who gets the credit.
And she does it silently.
A leader must not mind who gets the credit.
Thank you. Okay, so recipe, I have 3 recipes. Okay. So she started with 3. Number 1, daring. Especially in Nigeria, you must be daring to challenge the status quo. Things that we have, oh, this is the constitution. Oh, this is how we've been doing it. This you must be very, very daring. So, I'm going to challenge the constitution. I'm going to challenge the status quo. I want to say, this is how we've been doing it, but we're going to choose to do it this way. So you must be daring in this country. If you're not daring, you're not going to get anywhere in this country. Number 2, you must be vulnerable. I think you said it in different ways. Where you see, Governor Sanwo-Olu tried to do it a few times where he went to appeal. When you do wrong, accept it and acknowledge it. When you also do well, we'll celebrate you, but be vulnerable. When you goof, accept your goof. This one, no, I goofed. And own it, just like Mariam said earlier. And then you need a strong heart. One major recipe, if your heart not strong, don't try leadership in Nigeria. You must be strong and say that there are things that you just have to be very, very strong about, and don't look left, don't look right. Know that you are taking us on a journey. It might be painful, but it is a journey that we must pass through. And just like she said, don't walk the talk. So if you are taken on this journey and we see that you also eat, you're only drinking Gary, we'll drink Gary with you. Or don't go and be eating bacon and chicken and ask us to be drinking Gary. So please always try to. So that's my recipe for
4 recipes.
And we're done. Fantastic. Amazing soup. Amazing soup. With this nice soup, trust me, Nigeria will be a better country to eat.
Yes.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about Real Story for Thursday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria, on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communication story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Ọdún wa sọ yìí.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ̀ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
surrogacy and the legal battle between, as a family, is a domestic issue. And we're going to be bringing in our guest, who is a lawyer, a lawyer, fertility expert, actually, to help us understand how these things go. And also, we're going to bring in the owner of the story herself to share her angle. We try to also reach other parties. We've not been able to. We're hoping that this will be the start of the conversation. And going forward, we'll be able to get other parties involved. But the story goes as follows. A young lady, according to her, said that her aunt approached her to have children for her as a surrogate mother. Now, according to her, her aunt has had children before in the past. And these children are already grown up and they've traveled abroad, they live outside the country, and they're doing okay. But now her auntie has remarried to a new husband and they're yet to have children. So her aunt approached her and asked her to be a surrogate mother for her. And she accepted on the condition that she'll take care of her, get her a visa, and take her abroad for nursing, which is something she's always wanted to do. So according to this young lady, at the point when she had the baby and then it became twins, a set of twins, when it was now time for her aunt, according to her, to do the right thing by her, by ensuring she gets her a visa and gets her to abroad, the lady, for some reason, declined. We don't know why that happened, but we're still trying to reach the aunts to find out her own side of the story. But from this young lady, she says now that her aunt is trying to forcefully take the children from her, and she's refusing to let go of the children because she has not adhered to our own side of the deal. Unfortunately, there is no documents or contract for us. So it's still a he said, she said conversation. But it's an interesting story because the culture of surrogacy is just growing in this part of the world. And it's time for us to talk about it so that we bring all the factors to the table. So going forward, when you want to do it, have a surrogate mother, you know all the various factors to consider. But we're going to be bringing our guest in right now to help us understand how surrogacy is put together. I think we have Dr. Fatai Ajayi, who's going to be shedding light on, in the case of surrogacy, what are the various steps that are necessary, especially if you're using the donor's eggs. So the person who's carrying the baby is offering her eggs. In this case, I thought that the lady in question, the auntie, was going to be giving her egg to the niece. But then when I read the story, it seems, based on her article, and I'm hoping we can speak to her soon, she can help us confirm that the baby's eggs, the eggs are actually hers, with our auntie's husband's sperm to now make the baby. So we'll see. Let's welcome our doctor with us. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning. I'm here. Thank you very much for having me.
Good to have. Good to have you, sir.
Very interesting one.
Yes.
And first and foremost, I think it would be nice to just define what surrogacy is.
Yes.
And what it entails basically is getting somebody else to carry a baby for you for 9 months. The other name for it is a gestational carrier, okay? And the way we do it now, I mean, there's a traditional way of doing it where what happens is that you just beg someone to carry a child for you, maybe using our own eggs, maybe using donor sperm and all that. But nowadays, what we usually do is get either the wife's eggs or the wife's eggs or donor eggs, and then get the husband's sperm. Both of them are fertilized in a lab, and after fertilization, they are transferred into the surrogate. But before that happened, I mean, one would have at least ensured that the surrogate is even fit to carry pregnancy. And then, because there will have been legal papers, drafted between both parties in order to avoid situations like this. But even where there are legal papers, sometimes, there may be disputes. So it's always good to, make sure that all the legal things are, tied up before going into a surrogacy agreement. And then, agreeing to carry a pregnancy for 9 months, because anything can happen. Anything can happen, and it's not even at delivery. But it will happen during the antenatal period. She could have anything that will require medical attention and things like that. So it's it will be a foolish person who will decide to go into surrogacy, without having all the legal ends tied up.
Right. Okay, Dr. Ajayi, I'm interested in surrogacy, and I think we've had that conversation. And when you told me the amount, I'm still rethinking it. Should I go ahead or not? But when I spoke to you about it, you explained to me that there's a way that it can be handled where I don't necessarily have to meet the surrogate mother. The hospital will handle everything. Now, the fear with this sort of issue that we have on the table this morning is this is a new industry. This is something we're just beginning to accept as Africans. And I'm worried that we may mess it up if we start with this sort of fight. So what is the best method you would advise somebody who wants to go into surrogacy? Should you get somebody you know? Should you get your family member to carry for you? Or do you go that route we actually talked about? Which is safest?
Yeah, I think the safest one will be where you are anonymous and where the surrogate too is anonymous. That way there will be no risk of blackmail. Because if somebody knows you are this person and he knows and she knows that she can, go on social media and start calling your name and saying she did this and that for you, it will actually put you at immense risk. So it's always better to go anonymous. There are agencies now, within the country. In Lagos alone, I know about 10 different agencies that offer surrogacy services. And as part of their services, they also offer legal counsel. So, by the time you come in, you're not only going to meet with the agents, you're also going to meet with lawyers who will draft, something like an agreement between you and the agency on one hand, and between you and the surrogate on the other, so that all parties are protected. It wouldn't be at the time we are delivering that we'll now find out that the surrogate is not willing to give up the features because she thinks she should get some more from you because you are the chairman of Intercontinental Bank or something, things like that. Yeah, so it's always better to be anonymous. Yeah.
Dr. Ajayi, let me get a few questions in here.
So, in case, because you cannot say that there have never been disputes. In case a dispute arises, can you hear me? So in case a dispute arises, like in the case we have now, what I see here is somebody turning the children to an object, like a chattel that they start to negotiate with. What is the recourse? What happens when the children become an object between both parties? That's the surrogate mother and the mother, for instance. I believe that the law will take those children away from both parties. What have you seen in your experiences in this?
Well, we have been lucky so far, and disputes like this hardly ever arise, But whenever disputes like this arise, the surrogate actually has, a better legal standing. Because in actual fact, the legal parents, when we talk about surrogacy, is the person that carries that pregnancy to term, irrespective of who donated the eggs or the sperm. The person that carries that carries the baby up to 9 months is actually his legal parent. But what they do as part of the agreement is that they sign away every parental obligation, so as to avoid. So for us to avoid things like this. As soon as babies are born, sometimes we separate the surrogate and the baby, and then we take the baby and we hand them over to the intending parents, while the surrogate is kept somewhere else, so as to avoid bonding and a lot of other things. But in actual fact, the law, if we're going to follow law, I'm not a lawyer, but from the little I know about the law, the person who carries the pregnancy to term is actually the legal parent.
Right.
So what the parent will do, if we're going to follow the law to the letter, is that they adopt the baby, even though the baby is theirs to start with. But they will need to perfect papers so as to avoid problems in the future.
Okay.
As you've mentioned, you're not a lawyer, but because you deal with surrogacy, I feel you may help us in this particular situation. So we have a situation, no legal agreements have been drawn. and here we are. What would be the best way now to sort this out amicably, especially now that we understand that that mother is the legal parent of the twins? So how are they going to sort this out?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so the best thing will be for them to settle between themselves. I don't know what was promised and what has been given so far. I'm not a witness to any of those things. But if they can't reach an agreement, they will need to go to court, and that's family court. And in the family court, what the judge will rule on is probably, what will be in the best interest of the child. So by the time they look at all the factors and everything that came into play before the babies were born, I'm sure we'll be able to arrive at a conclusion that will be acceptable to both parties.
All right, we're going to
they are really, and they should be able to, talk to themselves.
We're going to go on a break, Dr. Ajayi. There are a few factors we are yet to talk about, because this girl, according to her, she feels that she's being taken advantage of because she's poor. And there's a part that if we say the legal angle in the best interest of the child, the court might say the rich folks are more able to take care of this child. So there is that back and forth. But when we come back, we'll try to invite our lawyer to join this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Freedom is the ability to make choices.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, reliable, every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be. Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So we've been trying for the past few minutes to get the lady in question. Her name is Gift Solomon. She's the one, she's willing to tell her story. We tried to get her on Zoom, but we've been having some technical issues. We should get her on in a few more minutes. We're also going to be speaking with the legal practitioner, Mrs. Olajumoke Fashion-Loro. She's also going to shed more light on the options available. But whilst we're trying to get that connection together, let me try to reiterate the story for those who are just joining us. So this is a young lady who, according to her, she believes that she's been oppressed by her rich aunt and uncle who have engaged her as a surrogate for their children. Now, the naughty part of this issue is the fact that she used her own eggs. Now, what is usually legally recognized is where you get donor eggs from somewhere. You pay for donor eggs, and then the sperm comes in, and then you're the surrogate mother. But in this case, some may argue that this girl was, that this matter was not clearly explained to her. She's an innocent girl who's not very exposed, and she's like, okay, I want to help my auntie. I'm not trying to defend her, but the idea is to, someone like that in a position doesn't have the exposure, and she feels like she's helping her auntie who may know better, use her niece's eggs, and then now the baby is fertile. You did not adhere to your promise, fulfill your promise. Now, where does the law back the child, the mother of the child, up? Who is the law going to back up in this? And that's why we really need to speak to the legal practitioner. I'm told that she's on. Mrs. Olajumoke, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, is this Gift? This is Gift Solomon. Yes. Oh, thanks for joining us. I guess we couldn't get you on Zoom, so we'll speak to you via the phone. So, in a nutshell, let me give you an opportunity to tell us in a few minutes your story before we then get the other experts involved.
Okay. My name is Gift Solomon. So, this whole thing started in 2016. It was in 2016 when my auntie and the husband, they have a polytechnic in Anambra. So they were given a mass admission. It was actually a scholarship. So they were giving to people, friends and relatives. And if you're interested, you can come to the school and you just register and you start. You can come with, if you have a jam or no jam, they just accept people. So when she called my mom and told her about it, so my mom said, okay, she has people that want to go to school. So my mom told me, I said, okay, that would be a great opportunity because me too, I want to go to school. So I traveled to Anambra State and we started in 2016. So the plan was that it was actually nothing that I wanted to do, and they were enrolling students from every course, like whatever course you want to do, they'll tell you they do it, you pay and you start. So at some point they told us that we are going to stay for 2 years, that we are going to do a general course for 2 years, after which they will be separated to our different departments. So we did the first 2 years, and they were always telling us that we are going for IT abroad after the 2 years. And considering the fact that she was my auntie, she promised me personally that she was going to support me to go to nursing school abroad after the 2 years. So we continued. After 2 years, it was time for us to do our IT. So this time now, she now said that I can no longer travel because that I need to have HND in computer science. I cannot travel to US without having at least HND in computer science. So I was angry. I said this was not the initial agreement. So actually, I wanted to stop schooling. See, when they now came back, so she called me one day and told me she wants someone that can carry a baby for her, that she will pay the person, and that once the person is pregnant, she will send the person abroad. Then once the person gives birth to the child, that she will settle the person. So if I have a connection, I said no, I don't have such connection. So I went home. The next day I came back and I told her, okay, since you've already promised to help me go to nursing school, what if I do this for you? At least since you're doing this for me, so that at least it will trigger you to actually fulfill your promise to me. Since I see other girls that carry pregnancy, so I feel it's something I can do. So she was happy and said, okay, if I can do that for her, she should be rest assured that my future is secure, that she will train me to any level, that she has the connection and power to take me to any level I want. So I said, okay, no problem. So now we are in 2018. So the reason why I agreed then was because I know that I don't want to do this computer HND stuff. And I was thinking once I agreed to do this, that she will start doing the paperwork so that we can do this and I travel, do it for them, then continue with my life and do my nursing. So after now, we're in 2018. They delayed it to all of the 2018, all the 2019. She kept saying, and even though I want to do it for her, but I still cannot travel to US without having my HND. So now in 2020, they came back during Christmas period and she told me, I hope I remembered what I promised her. So because I've already given my promise and now I'm in a relationship, I've already promised her that I'll do this. But right now, I don't know how it's going to look. And then if I say no, it's going to create enmity and problem, or she will start feeling somehow. So I didn't want her to feel bad. So I said, okay, no problem. Since I've promised you, I'll go ahead and do it. So in January, we went to the hospital, Olive Branch Clinic in Lekki. So they did the whole test. They checked my reproductive system and everything. Everything was good. And they said it will continue. Once it's time for my next period, I should come. So when it was time, I went to Lagos and they gave me an ovulation booster I took for 1 week and all of that. So on the date, I think it was on the 6th of February, no, on the 4th of February, they did an extraction. They extracted 16 eggs for the whole process. And the day of extraction, I was told not to wear makeup, I should not eat, I should not wear jewelry for anything because of the injection they will be giving to me and all of that. So before then, my auntie already wore, they gave us a lab coat, a theater gown, the one I'll be wearing, and the one my auntie will be wearing to join me in the theater. So she already wore that theater gown and took a picture, asked me to take a picture of her lying on the bed to make it look like as if she's the one that is going to undergo the whole surgery and everything. So I didn't have anything in mind. So I did all of that. And after the end of the day, they extracted the eggs and we went home. So they said the next 2 days that we are coming back for the transfer. So then when we get home, the husband was saying they should transfer 5 eggs. It was like a joke. So when we got to the hospital the next day, before then, they've been having meetings, the whole process, they've been discussing with the doctor. They never discussed, the doctor never called me to tell me how all of this whole thing works because I already told the doctor that she's like a mother to me and that she's a nurse, that she explained the whole thing to me so that he don't need to worry about telling me the whole process, that she can do that. But then she didn't say anything to me, so we did everything. So after the transfer, we went back. Then on the 20th of in February, I was confirmed pregnant. So everything started there. The initial agreement is once you're pregnant, you'll be sent abroad. So now, I said, okay, what next? Now I'm pregnant, what next? She said then that the hospital said that they have to take care of me for the next 3 months. In that case, I have to be here in Nigeria for the next 3 months. Before then, she's already told the doctor because she told me that she told the doctor they are going to process papers for me to travel. So now, I'm pregnant and I have to stay for the next 3 months. So during this 3 months, period of 3 months, at some point I got really, 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 really sick. And really sick that from morning to night, sometimes I don't even eat. Whatever I eat, I threw up. I was depressed and all that because she told me not to tell anybody about it. So the secret between me, her, and the husband. So I didn't let any other person know about it. So now I'm sick. And at some point, I told her, please,
all right,
can you please tell my mom?
Gibbs, I hate to pause you because of time. So now you're pregnant, you got pregnant, and then at what point did you deliver, and at what point did you refuse to give them the baby as promised?
At what point did I do what?
At what point did you give birth, and at what point did you refuse to give them the baby as promised?
Okay, the reason why I've given birth right now. So the reason why I refused to give them the baby and everything is because initially when I was having issues, I told her I needed to tell someone about it so that they know what I'm going through because I was going through a lot. She refused. Even the doctor asked her, did you inform the parents about what you're doing? She said no. So the doctor told for you to do a thing like this without telling the parents of the child what she's going through. Then the doctor asked her, what is your plan for her? Since she said she's traveling abroad. She said that all her efforts to send me abroad is not working. So the doctor asked her, did you at least apply for a visa for her? She said no. Meanwhile, they've been trying to work a way out that I can travel with only my passport and my NIN. But it didn't work because countries they were trying to get, they requested for transit visa and all of that. But she said she wanted to erase every trace that I did this for her. In that case, she was just wanting an easy access for me to travel out of the country. So all of this whole thing didn't work. And then the maltreatment, the way she started treating me while I was pregnant and everything. So before she traveled, I was 3 months before she traveled back. At some point, she abandoned me. Although the husband told me initially that the wife don't have any concrete plans to take me to anywhere, that he's just concerned about me and the baby, that she may likely abandon me, so that whenever she's traveling, that I should not allow her travel. But the thing is, I've been going through a lot, and I don't really want to stay around her anymore. So even if she's traveling and don't want to go with me, no problem. So I was really, really sick at this point. So when I when she traveled, the day she was traveling,
let me pause you for a second. I want to pause you for a second. Mariam has a question for you. Go ahead.
The period you were pregnant, for your antenatal and everything, who paid for that? Who cared for you?
I can't really. Okay. Hello.
For your antenatal classes and things like that, who paid for it? How did you get to the hospital and back? Where did you stay? Did you stay in your own parents' house, or did you stay with them? How was your feeding and your medicine and your medical, everything up until you gave birth?
Okay, like the surrogate process, they paid for everything. So when she was leaving, she didn't register me she only took me because I was sick and I was admitted in Lagoon Hospital. So after then, when I went for a 1-week checkup, I noticed that I was not registered for antenatal. So they said before I see a doctor that I must register for the antenatal package. So from the money she gave me, I registered for the antenatal package. And from the money she gave me was for hospital bills and my feeding. Then I didn't have any because by this time I was getting bigger and my breast, so I had to buy the undies I use and the gowns I use for pregnancy and all of that. So it was from the money she gave me that I used to buy all of that. And they rented, I was in a hotel actually. They kept me in a hotel and she traveled.
So they did take care.
Give to you. Can you say the sum total of what they gave to you?
Hello?
How much exactly did they give to you?
Yes, she gave me 400,000 naira.
From the beginning to the end?
Ma?
From the beginning to the end of the pregnancy, only 400,000 naira.
It was not from, it was on the, when she was traveling, that was when she gave me. She gave me 400,000 naira. Then at some point, when I told her, then I've already traveled because I was angry when my money finished and I was explaining to her. She said that I'm average Nigeria and I'm not supposed to be spending money or requesting for money like that. So she sent me another 200,000.
That's 600.
Okay.
That was when I was at 20 weeks.
20 weeks. Okay, so they ensured that you were in a hotel and they somewhat gave you money, 600,000. So they did take care of you somewhat during that period. But as my question, you haven't answered my question. When you finally delivered,
yes,
why did you refuse to hand over the babies to them?
Okay, by this time I've gotten to know the type of person they are. Like from the husband and from the children, I realized that she's not really what she painted herself to be. She's not the kind of mother that I can release my children to. Considering the fact that she already started doing anything, they were threatening my life, that they are American citizens and that the American embassy will be coming to take their children, that my parents want to use this and extort them, that because we are poor and they see this as an avenue to extort them, and the child actually, and before then, they were constantly abusing me emotionally because they stay in the same room, we stay together, and they have sex in my presence and all of that. Right. The child told me of the way she maltreats them and the way she abandons them and all of that.
Asking them for anything while you were pregnant? Did your parents reach out to them to ask for anything? And did they give them anything, any money or anything while you were pregnant?
While I was pregnant, my parents never knew about it. It was at some point she told my mom.
Did they give them anything? Did they give them money? Did your parents ask for money, anything from her?
My parents didn't ask her for anything. My mom did not ask her for anything.
All right, let me pause your gifts. Let me come to the lawyer. Wait, let me let you finish that sentence. What did you say?
I said my parents didn't ask her, like my mom, I know did not ask her, but at some point I think she was discussing with my dad, but I don't really know their discussion. But my mom that was staying with didn't ask her for anything.
Okay. All right, let me come to the lawyer. Thank you very much, Gift. Just hold in there. We might come back to you. Let me come to the lawyer. We have Mrs. Olajumoke Fashinloro. She's a legal practitioner who is very versatile in this area. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for listening in.
Good morning.
You've heard everything Gift said. There's so much she said there. To the layman's perspective, someone could say both sides have a question to answer. So there is an agreement between a niece and an aunt concerning this matter. There's no legal document, as we're aware, but it is clear that from intention, this young lady knew she was carrying these babies for somebody. And these people also did their best to take care of her and ensure she was put in a place for the baby. So what do you think she's morally right to refuse to hand over the babies to these people because of how she was treated, quote unquote?
Okay, good morning again. Well, I didn't get the part of when you say carry, I didn't get that part of like, is it our egg or someone else's egg? So I need to know that. Okay. Because if you're talking about surrogacy, yeah.
Let me let Gift answer that question herself. Gift, are you still there?
Yes. Yes.
Were they your eggs or somebody else's eggs?
It was my egg.
Your own eggs. Thank you. So, yes. Madam Jumoke, go ahead.
Okay, good. Okay, so then the second question will be, did they have a valid document saying, okay, these are going to be the terms and conditions of this transaction? Did they have anything like that?
None.
That governed whatever happened between the parties?
No, they did not.
Hello?
No, they did not.
Okay, so they didn't. Okay, so at best, what they can have here is co-parenting between herself and the owner of the sperm, as it were. Because if she's saying, really, I mean, realistically, these kids are babies. They are babies. They are babies. So the best that can happen here is co-parenting. And you have to understand that during gestation, that's the pregnancy time, you would know that the babies or the baby, as it were, would have formed, there is a bond that is formed between a mother and child. So for you to even, for a mother to say, I want to give this child away, there has to be an incentive, there has to be motivation, there has to be a reason. Yes, like a superior reason that would convince you to be like, okay, I want to give up my babies. But she doesn't have that conviction. And again, we need to know that the welfare of the babies is very paramount. If she feels, as a mother, if she has a maternal instinct and she feels like these babies will not fare well, whoever she's taking them to, she needs to be listened to.
Wow.
And if she says she has been unfairly treated during the course of pregnancy, I didn't get all the facts.
Right.
But, well, the little I got, if you can say, if she's saying she wasn't treated well, then it means she doesn't trust her babies to be with this kind of people or that kind of person, as it were. So, I mean, and again, because they did not have a valid document, they didn't have a valid document, and I think that makes it very easy. Let her have her babies and let's go. And again, in all we have said, she got a total sum of 1 million naira. Are you going to say
600,000?
Do you want that? I think I heard another 400.
400 then 200.
In all.
Yeah, 600 for one full 9 months.
No, you can't. I mean, it's not even questionable. It's not even questionable, realistically. It's not questionable.
Okay, let me pause you for a second. Nima has a few... Let me pause you because I have a lot of questions.
In this case now where she's saying because she wasn't well treated and she wasn't well paid, she's not having any other motivation for not giving up the children except payment. Does she still have a right to have the children just for payment?
No,
she said she wasn't well treated, and that's something to look at. If she wasn't well treated, what makes us think that the babies will be better treated? If you understand what I'm saying.
Let's assume that what we're discussing here is lack of payment.
We cannot assume. We shouldn't assume. We shouldn't assume. Well, even if she's basing her reluctance to release her baby on the point of not being well paid, well, that's not that's questionable. But it is still a valid reason. It is questionable, but it does not invalidate the fact that she feels like, well, these guys didn't give me enough money, and I don't think they will take care of my child.
Right.
Maybe it is.
Okay.
Remember, I said it is questionable, but it does not invalidate the fact that she feels like they are not.
Right. I still have the doctor. I still have the doctor on. We'll come to you, Dr. Ajayi, in a moment. Let me come to...
Okay, madam, I want to ask if she has a fighting chance in court. You know how we are in this part of the world where the person who has the money will be the first person to take you to court.
No. Even the law favors a mother to keep her kids. The reasons why a court would not give custody to a child will be like if the woman is of questionable character, if she has shown that she's not mentally okay to take care of a child, she's not okay to take care of her child, she's not stable. But if she's found to be stable, if she's found if she's able to provide a conducive environment for the children, yes. For a woman that took her child through 9 months, she didn't hurt herself, she didn't hurt the babies when they were born. Right. Well, I can establish that she's stable enough. Okay. Yes, she's stable enough, and if she's fighting now, meaning it means she loves her children and she wants to keep them. Right. So I mean,
let me pause you for a second.
Yes. Also, my question would be, we are now aware, at least based on what Gift has told us, that the eggs are hers. They are not the woman's eggs. Could it can come up in court to say that maybe the woman does not feel any way related to these children and feels no maternal instinct in making sure that those children end up with her? After all, they were not her eggs. She didn't hear me.
Hello? Did you get that?
Well, hello?
Yes.
That they can see it. No. Okay, doctor.
Oh.
Hello?
It's like, yes, can you hear us? Madam, can you hear?
Yeah. To me or the doctor?
Okay, let's take the doctor. Let's question to the doctor. Dr. Ajayi.
Yes, I'm here.
Please, go ahead. We don't want to answer Mariam's question, please.
I didn't hear what she said. So
okay, I'm saying that.
Trying to listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I just said the eggs are the surrogate's eggs, the carrier's eggs. They are not the other woman in question. They're not her eggs. So she may not feel any maternal instinct towards those children. She's not biologically their mother. That's why she may not find it conducive or convenient to make sure that Gift gets fully compensated. Because it would not mean her losing her children anyway.
Not her children.
They're not her children.
Okay, well, let me start by saying that what has been done so far is not ethical, and it's actually something that we, as fertility experts, would not really want to do. You know, I mean, I wouldn't, for example, make my donor my surrogate, because there's always that chance that the level of bonding would be much higher than if she was getting donor eggs and donor sperms, fertilized. So, I mean, for us, I mean, it's not something I would have done. I mean, I don't know where she had the procedure done and all that, but it's really not, for me, that's not the way to go. But having said that, not carrying the baby biologically does not mean that one cannot develop maternal instincts or maternal bonding. That's not true. I mean, if we have people that have used both donor sperms and donor eggs and carried pregnancies till term and love those babies like they came from them. So, I mean, we shouldn't go into such realms, because we really cannot determine how human beings will react when faced with situations like this. Even people that have biological children sometimes treat them cruelly. I mean, we've seen situations like that even in this country, where babies are beaten to death by their own biological parents. So, I mean, well, adopted children are treated like, they came from the loins of people taking care of them.
Right.
So, that's, I don't think carrying a baby should, because not carrying a baby should be a hindrance to being a good parent.
Okay, let me come back to Gift. Gift, are you still there? Hello, Gift.
Please.
Gift, yes. Let me ask you this question, Gift. What would it take for you to give up these children to this family?
Are you still interested in doing that?
Or are you still interested in giving up these children at some point? Can you hear me, Gift? Hello, Gift? Oh, I think I'm disconnected. Oh, we lost Gift. Let's try to reconnect with Gift.
Come back to the doctor. There's a question.
Dr. Ajayi?
Yes. Dr. Ajayi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ace is asking
on
Twitter.
Yes.
Please, what's the average expense to carry out a surrogacy, like an estimate or an average?
It varies from, because sometimes it's the agencies that determine how much you will pay at the end of the day, you know. But realistically speaking, it can be at 1.5 million.
Do you hear that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
it depends on the agency, like I said. So sometimes you can get it for as low as 1.5, but there are times when the expense can go to as high as 4.5 to 5 million.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes that doesn't even include the delivery fees, antenatal fees, you know, incidentals. For example, if she falls ill during pregnancy, I mean, who settles the bill? Things like that. But I mean, we try to make sure that all those things are itemized prior to starting, so that the intending parents know what they are in for. Because we cannot get to the middle and then you say you're not doing anymore.
Not doing again.
Okay,
So
thank you, Doctor. Yes.
Yeah.
We know of cases where people are pregnant and in the course of the pregnancy or childbirth, they lose their lives. So this is a serious, as much as a lot of people will make it about money, it's also a serious sacrifice for someone to do that. I mean, we're mothers here. We know what it took us. And, you know, Nima's case, she was in hospital for bed rest for months. So just that she even went through that, isn't that enough reason to want to compensate her for the process of having those children?
I agree. I mean, she should be paid something. I mean, if they promised to give her an education, and I mean, even though it wasn't written in black and white, they should go ahead and do what they can for her. Because, I mean, putting your life on the line to carry a pregnancy for you is no small sacrifice. And she should be commended for that. I mean, she wasn't given anything to even start with. Some other people will not start until you give them money.
Doctor,
so,
okay, Nima, let me pause you for a second. I'm told that Gift is back. Gift, are you there?
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us again. I want to ask you this question. Are you still willing to give up these children to this family? And if you are, what would it take to give up the twins to this family?
Okay, like I was saying, money is not my problem at this point. Like initially, I never discussed about money, and till now, I'm still not talking about money.
Good.
So it's not going to take me anything. The thing is, I'm keeping back the children, considering the fact that they belong to me, and the whole character, the way she treated me, the emotional torture, the whole abuse, the way, like even the way she treats my cousins, which are her children, because she has her own 5 biological children, and she doesn't take care of them. Is that she abandoned them to marry another man. I never knew all of this because I was staying with her actually, but we just talked and we didn't live in the same house until all of this started happening, and the children started asking me that I couldn't have been this victim to their mom because their mother is tribal to them and they cannot possibly.
Let me play the devil's advocate a bit, Gift. Do you think it's fair to carry somebody else's...
I don't understand this question.
Wait.
Don't ask it.
It's a sperm. No, the sperm doesn't belong to your... Because you're now married to your own husband. The sperm doesn't belong to your own husband. It belongs to your auntie's husband. So my question is, do you think it's therefore fair to keep these children without their consent?
Keep my children.
Well, I cannot really say for sure that the sperm belongs to. I think I demand to get at least a paternity test to be sure because they are questionable characters and they can do anything to get what they want. I can't really be sure because no man will leave his or her child, considering the fact it wasn't like he had an intimacy or anything. This was just, I went through surgery and this was done. Then at the end of the day, they abandoned me and they were still threatening my life to do things, evil things to me. When I was carrying, a so-called child, if it's the man's sperm, like he's claiming. So there is no man, no sensible man will leave a child for that long. They left me as early as 14 weeks and I took care of myself from that stage to when I give birth. And these children are 1 week to 6 months. And all of a sudden, they are coming back to lay claim of the children because they know my dad is dead and they are threatening to come to my dad's burial, to come and disorganize people, to call police, to arrest me, that I've been in jail, that I'm a kidnapper and all of that. They've been tagging my name and they've said all sorts of things. So I must get a paternity test to be sure.
Let me
go ahead. For now, I'm still not sure because the woman told me that the husband is not fertile. He pregnant a woman. So till that is done, I can't really say for sure, but I'm not giving back. My stand remains the fact that I'm not giving back my children. Because they belong to me and they abandoned me when I needed them.
Hang in there, please.
Please. Yeah. You have mentioned that they are threatening you. Are you planning to take this to court yourself? Do you have that plan? To take the matter to court, to protect yourself and your children. Do you have that plan?
Yes, if I have to do that to protect my children.
Okay, let me...
They're really threatening my life, and I even went as far as hiding because they've been sending people to monitor us. They sent people to kidnap us, but it didn't work. So we get to know what was happening. So I'm in a hiding place, like I'm hiding to cover myself right now. So if that's what it takes for me to protect my children, I don't mind taking it to court.
All right, let me come to Mrs. Fashion Laurel. Lawyer, are you still there, madam?
Hello?
Mrs. Fashion Laurel, are you still there? Very good. Let me ask you this question. And as I said, as my job as a moderator, I have to play the devil's advocate sometimes. So now, if I'm the father, it's my sperm that was used, and I am an American citizen. So my children are American citizens, and I can actually lay claims to them because they are my children. So if I'm an American citizen, can I therefore go through the embassy to demand that my children be taken to the... Because if you can prove that you are better capable of taking care of these children, would they give the children to me as an American citizen?
You will carry your wife along, which is the mother of the children.
Okay, so if he goes to the embassy and says he wants to collect the kids, on what basis? Because he's an American citizen.
Because they are
so they will take the kids away from their mother.
Because it's the blood. That is blood. That's his own. Go ahead.
It's his own blood. Well, it's the woman's blood as well.
Yes.
It's the woman's blood. These things are not the way we think they are a lot of times. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the consent of a mother is usually very sacrosanct a lot of times. So I really do not understand. Even in America, I think, yes, even in this America we're talking about, these kids are minor. They are infants. Yes. So I really do not even think that they would listen to the father saying, because I'm an American citizen, I want to take the kids. I think children are legally, I think they are best kept with their mothers. The only reason is if the woman is not stable, like I said, if she has proven not to be a good mother. If she's not going to be a good mother, well, yes, that's
right. Okay. Let me get Nima to jump in here.
I wanted to ask the doctor.
Dr. Ajayi?
Dr. Ajayi, because this is, of course, your area of practice. Have you ever seen a situation where the birth of a child cost the surrogate mother her womb? And does this in any way change the terms of agreement? So let's assume that the costs that was, pegged, it was pegged at 5 million. That's the maximum you talked about now. And now she's lost her womb. Can she then change the cost and say, because I have lost something that, for a life I can never have other children, this will cost higher or even, cost the children?
Well, fortunately, I've not been faced with such a situation. But like I said, things like that happen. And I'm sorry, surrogates have lost their lives in the process. I mean, there are several situations like that. And I mean, the agreement usually sometimes specifies, for things like this. And they usually would put a fee to how much you will get if anything happens while you are pregnant. And even, some agreements even go as far as, compensating the family in case something happens to the surrogate while pregnant. So those things are usually spelled out in the agreement, and good lawyers usually know how to draft this. I don't have a figure, but there are ways that compensation is given to those surrogates.
Right.
So they have to have cesarean section, for example, which is not vaginal delivery. They get paid a bit more. If they are having triplets, twins, they get paid a bit more. Things like that are put in place to protect their interests.
Okay.
So it's possible that if anything like that happens to her, she will get compensated. Even if she has a good agreement to play.
Okay, so my question now is to the lawyer. Now, if Gift decides that she's going to hold on to her children, does she still have, would she still have any rights or to, let's say, child support from that family? Would she also still get the initial compensation, agreed compensation that they had?
See, you keep saying the initial agreed compensation. That was not documented. So we're going to be going back and forth. I said this, they said this, they didn't do this, they did that, they didn't do this. But of course, because now that woman and the man, they have children together, it is compulsory that they take care of these kids. The law is not interested in what the man said or what the woman did. The law is interested in the children. That is all. That is all. The two of them must come together. And when I say the two of them, I'm not even considering the aunt in this situation. She's not even she's not a part of this conversation that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the woman that carries the child and the man that fathers these children. So they have to come together and tell these kids will be taken care of. Wow. That's just my own submission.
Let me come to Gift.
Yes, the law is not interested. The law is not interested. The law is not interested in the politics and all the going on, the shenanigans. No, because the law is not interested in this. The law is interested in the children.
Right. Okay.
And Let me come. They cannot get their acts together. If they cannot get their acts together, you will be shocked. Somebody will fight somebody to take the kids away for proper care.
Let me come to Gift. Gift, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How is your own husband taking all of this? What's his own input into all of this?
Okay, like I already said, they are threatening our lives.
I'm talking about your own husband.
I'm calling the 1 million Nigerians to look into the matter and help me get justice. Because Dr. Sheila Munyemobi and the husband, Professor Gamelia Munyemobi, they are really threatening our lives. They warned my husband. They tagged my husband kidnapper because he got married to me, and that was all he did. So the way everything is going is really getting out of hand. So that's why we are involving everyone to know about it, just in case anything happens, because the threat is too much. The threat is too much on our lives.
When you say threats, could you kindly tell me what exactly you mean by threats? You said they wanted to come to your father's burial to embarrass you. What other threats are we talking about here?
To take the children, they told other people that they are getting us, they wrote a petition against us to the IGF for me, and that we are kidnappers, and that we are requesting for ransom, so we help their children. So all of that, they did.
All right.
And another person told me, she told us that she wants to get me arrested, that I will be in the police station while they take away my children. And they've also sent people to kidnap us actually, and I have a record of it, but it didn't work because the person they sent actually told us about it. So we had to go hiding. So they've been doing a whole lot of things. They just want to do it in an illegal way. They don't want to come up.
All right.
And they are making it look like as if I'm requesting for money, but the truth is I've never discussed money with them for the first time. So trying to tell me they want to compensate me is a no-no, because that's not the issue. The issue here is because the fact that they abandoned me when I needed it and been abusive, and I've gotten to realize the type of person she is. She has her children, her own children out there in the street that she doesn't even take care of. And all of a sudden, she wants to take this because she wants to answer them in her second husband's house. So the whole thing is just crazy.
All right, Gift, thank you very much. I'd like to end it there because personally, I really would love to speak to your aunt. I mean, we've tried to reach out to them. Our producers are still working to bring her on. It would be great to hear her perspective, because I don't think any sane person would want to go this approach unless there's a reason. So I'd like to hear from her and her husband on exactly what exactly did they agree with you, and why does it look as if they are demanding for something that the law doesn't recognize as theirs. So would really love to speak to your aunts, and I hope that they would accept the request to come on our show soonest to respond to these allegations. I mean, these are still allegations from your end, and we have to hear both sides. Let me take a few comments on social media before we wrap up.
He says, I don't see how you can vary the terms of an agreement because an accident or an act of God happened. You can only make provisions for such occurrences. Permanent disability at the time of drafting the agreement. Blessed Child says she agreed to the surrogacy for a consideration. If they failed in fulfilling their obligation under the oral agreement, which is not disputed and can only be established by evidence, to sponsor her education and take care of her through pregnancy, surrogate mother has a case.
Olagidi says the children carry the man's DNA. He must pay for the children's upkeep.
Yes.
The law no they pity men for this kind of matter. That is why men who donate sperm do it anonymously.
Okay.
Priscilla Ajayi says the lady is actually thinking. She sounds like someone who has thought the matter through, and there's no written document. A so-called American citizen is supposed to be wise.
Kesimi now says, I think she should get a lawyer to help her out, which I agree with.
Yes.
Her life and that of the twins is at stake.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Let me just let all our guests have final words on this. Our legal practitioner, I'll start with you, Mrs. Olajumoke Fashinlere. What are your final words on this as we wrap up?
Okay, what I'm saying is let her get a lawyer. And if she feels really threatened, let her make a report at the police station. So at least it will be on record that where she made a report that her life is being threatened. If she honestly feels like her life and those of her children are being threatened, then she can do that.
Thank you very much.
But again, you should get a lawyer.
Thank you very much, Ms. Olajumoke Fashinlere, for joining us. Let me come to Dr. Fatai Ajayi. What are your final words on this?
Yeah, so I would say that surrogacy in Nigeria is still in its infancy, but
should not spoil it.
If done right, problems like this will not arise. And I'll urge our listeners and our people that are watching to always, ensure that if they're ever going to go down that route, to be very, very careful. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Fatai Ajayi. Let me get Gift's final words. Gift, are you still there? Oh, we lost her already. I really wanted to get her final. But as I said, it's an open invitation to our aunts. We'll definitely try to reach her. We tried to reach them, but unfortunately we couldn't reach them. But we'll continue to reach them because I believe strongly there are always two sides to every story. So it's important to hear their own side of this story. That's all we can take on the show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.